7 AM, heading out to capture some of the morning light and the city coming to life. Let's do this. Check out this light. It's a glorious morning here in Dublin. Can't beat it. There's some crazy morning light going on here in Dublin. Scan the bridge and I'll show you what I mean. There's the glorious sunrise behind me. It should light up my face any second. There you go. Okay, so on one side we got this. Quite a glorious scene, isn't it? Good day in Dublin. Other side, we got this. See the murky clouds coming up here. Fantastic.
I hope that I could tell you and make you understand that your dreams are not made for me. I know you had the best of intentions in mind. It's the way you were brought out to believe. But I could always smell the fresh wind in the air. I could see the future looking bright. I could see the world changing with the times and letting go of what was behind. You always crave for crystal and gold, and I could never fit them all. You had your own castle.
It pays off to get up with the light, I suppose. Now, I think I deserve my morning coffee. That's quite a remarkably good feeling. Sorry about the mark on my head. Pressing on me. It's 8 o'clock in the morning and I've already spent an hour outside taking photographs, so that's... I'm winning the day already. Now coffee, breakfast, then it's songwriting and recording day, the studio day. So yeah, it's going to be a busy few days. So let's get on with it. Okay guys, this week's song is for the guitar geeks. This is my Journey Instruments guitar. I've done a separate video on this instrument. It's amazing, yoke. The neck comes off. Which I'm not going to take off now because once you take it off and you put it back on, it takes a little bit time for the strings to settle back in, like literally 3-4 minutes, but because I'm hoping to do the recording now, so I won't take it out now. But if you can go back on my YouTube channel, there's a specific video which I put in the description in the link for it, where I show you how it packs away, and yeah, check it out. It's actually one of the videos that sounds pretty well. What I love about this guitar is that, well, the portability of it, but the other thing is that we've honestly done gigs with Slither, we've done festivals with Slither that we wouldn't have been able to do otherwise, only for that I have this guitar and I could take it down as a hand luggage. I know some of you in America are going right now that why don't you just bring your guitar and hand luggage in the first place. In Europe, with the budget airlines, that's pretty much impossibility these days unless you pay more money. And when you're working on a tight budgets for gigs, which a lot of the independent artists do, it's the difference whether it's possible or not possible to do the gig, and it's a big deal. And this one fits into its own bag and fits as a hand luggage. And actually that hand luggage is, I can kind of squeeze into it overnight clothes, my laptop, and this, and I haven't traveled with the camera yet, so we'll see. But the cool thing about this instrument is that it also has its own tone. It's not like, I really like the tone of it, and it's really good for like finger picking stuff. It's almost like a parlor guitar sound to it, and it's really nice. It's like a parlor guitar with a little bit more bottom end, so it's deadly. I've been in contact with the company several times. I've talked to the owner of the company who's behind the Journey Instruments. Really cool guy. it's a wonderful instrument, and I had a really fun experience with kind of. I'd rarely get a chance to, you buy an instrument and you get to talk to the guys who were behind designing it and everything, and it's been a wonderful relationship. But I think it's going to work wonders. The sound of it's going to work perfectly for this week's song. So let's get a move on. That's it. One take wonder. Okay, vocals. Take 2 of vocals. You always great for crystal and gold, and I could never fit the mold. You had your own castle, you called home, but I still belong on the road. All right. I think you might be there. Castle you called home, but I still belong on the road. Oh, how I wish you could see it my way, but I know it ain't meant to be. Mixing the track. I know there isn't much money on my name, still I'm rich beyond my wildest dreams. Yeah, guys, I just wanted to say that I know the past few songs have been kind of acoustic-based songs and not big productions as some of the other ones been. And sometimes the big productions is to get a bigger kind of response from you guys. So I hope you guys don't mind them being acoustic, because right now it kind of feels like that's what's kind of coming out of me, and I feel like that's what I have to do when that's the case. Yeah, I hope you guys don't mind. I hope you are enjoying them as well. Okay, how you doing, guys? How's things? Right, so let's get talking about this week's song. I've been kind of on this journey of thinking about, the dreams we have and all that sort of stuff, and it's kind of taken me all different ways lately. So this week's song, I think a lot of you guys can relate to this week's song. This week's song is called Crystal and Gold, and it's a song about how when you are growing up, most of us probably were confronted by family members or relatives who had very kind of specific idea what we should be doing with our lives, and that was probably very traditional viewpoint of, you should go to university, get a career, get a job, get a house, have a family, all that sort of stuff. And that was their idea of that's what life is supposed to be like, and that's what the idea of happiness is like. And the thing is that even I was born 1975, so I would have been growing between I've been in school in the 80s and 90s, and even throughout that time, between that time and now, the world that we live in has changed so much. The whole idea of education has changed so much, and it's changing, and it's been challenged today more than it ever has been. But even at that, jobs have changed so much. Something that would have been considered back in those days a very, very steady, reliable job is disappearing these days, and a lot of the things that we might have been dreaming about were considered back then nearly impossible and something some people would have thought it would be a waste of time, and now they've become such a big reality of what people do. I remember, obviously, being a musician was a big part for me all along, and everybody was saying to me that, yeah, it's a great idea, but you have to have a backup plan, you have to have a backup plan, you have to have a backup plan. I understand where my family were coming from, and I really appreciate their care and love, but I think the fact that I don't have a backup plan, I never had a backup plan, is why I ended up succeeding as much as I have today. But there were other things as well, because back in school, for example, we had an art teacher who was absolutely wonderful. She definitely made for one of my favorite classes of the whole school. But she allowed me and a couple of other guys to do whatever we wanted. There was a program for the semester, but she saw that we had all these other visions, and we just had to do our own thing. We ended up filming a lot. There was a video camera in the school, and we had access in the city area to kind of video editing place. It was very basic at the time. There was just two recording machines, controller, and the quality of the results was here and there, but at least it allowed us to do edits on the video. And even back in those days, I remember saying that I really enjoyed doing that, and I'd really like to do more videos. But like back in those days, if you were going to make a video, it more than likely you were already talking about that you had to get into making movies or making like TV documentaries and that kind of stuff. Now it doesn't mean that. We got YouTube, we've got people putting out content there all the time. And guess what? Now I'm making videos every single day, and I understand, because back in those days there wasn't even like internet was only just about coming out, and like it was just an idea at the time that people were talking about. So even doing research, you were like your source was like public library or something like that, and it was impossible to understand even vaguely that what was ahead of us, like in 10, 20 years time. I know there's people who kind of dream about, I wish I could live that or that time, wish I would have born that or that time. I'm very happy living this time, because this allows me to do all this creative work. And I'm just looking forward to seeing what's coming next. Like it's blowing my mind all the time. So this week's song is about that. The other people have this kind of mold they want to put you into, but it's your life. And you have your own vision of what's to come, and you are you're more maybe tuned in with what's ahead of you than the people who are kind of dream for you, and they kind of look more on what their experiences have been. So they're looking more behind when you're looking ahead. And it's all that idea of that you kind of wish that they could see what your dreams are, but at the same time you kind of understand that you understand them as well, that they were brought up in a different time maybe, or a different culture or different background, But it's also about the idea of wealth, because all of those dreams that were laid on me were based on the idea that I would have a very steady career and I would make very steady money. And even though money does matter, I try very, very hard to put it not at the top of my priority list. I put it lower, try to push it lower as possible, because I think I am rich. I'm rich beyond my wildest dreams on other things in this life. I've been so privileged to do so many amazing things, and by God, I'm going to keep on doing them. I've got some amazing plans ahead of me, and as far as I'm considered, I'm only getting started here. I've walked all around Europe, streets of strange towns. I've been to beaches all around Mediterranean. I've even dipped my feet in the ice. I see the north coast of Norway. I've seen some amazing things, but even more so, I've met some unbelievably amazing people along the way as well. And that's something I'm looking forward to doing over and over and over again, And to me, that's wealth. That's something you can't put a figure on that, And I hope, I'd say I'm old enough at this stage to know that this is not just a foolish, childish dream anymore, I hope that I can hold on to that as long as I physically can. So that's what this week's song is about. I do believe quite a lot of you probably can relate to that. As I said, it's a whole my bigger vision of those streams, and which the couple of next week's songs definitely going to be circling around, and a lot of the stuff I'll be posting on social media will be circling around. So if you do enjoy the song, please do go and grab your copy on from the Bandcamp page. Please do share the link of the blog post to anybody who you think might enjoy the song or might relate to the song, because I think it's important that we are aware of this, and we appreciate the fact that not everybody is the same and not everybody's dreams are the same. Yeah, go and check it out, grab yourself a copy, and let me know what you think of the song. Talk to you soon.